Welcome. We're going to work through this past exam question. It is VCAA 2019, Paper 1, Question 12. It reads, the table below shows the values of two variables x and y. The associated scatter plot is also shown. The explanatory variable is x. So we can see what we've got here. We have our values here, and we also have the corresponding scatter plot. And as you can see, our data is not linear. We've got a bit of a curve going on there. So that is interesting. When we continue to read, it tells us the scatter plot is nonlinear. The squared transformation applied to the variable x can be used to linearize the scatter plot. The equation of the least squares line fitted to the linearized data is closest to which of these? Okay, so I'm going to show you how to answer this the quick way and the long way. Let's first go through the quick way of answering this, and it's just immediately eliminating our options that we know can't be right. First things first, we're squaring the x. So that means a is gone because there's no x squared there. And also d is gone because there's no x squared there either. What else can we eliminate? Well, if we look at our scatter plot, which has been given to us, as you can see, I have a positive gradient. So therefore, I should have a positive gradient for this because I'm applying a square transformation. That doesn't affect what the gradient or the direction of the association is going to be, unlike, say, a reciprocal transformation. So therefore, my answer should have a positive gradient. Now, E doesn't have a positive gradient because, as you can see, I've got a negative in front of the x squared term. So too, C has a negative in front of the x squared term. That means my answer is B. I answered that question so quickly because I was able to eliminate what I know it couldn't be. So I think that's the reason why they gave us the scatter plot. So we could figure that out very quickly. Just by looking at it, we can see that we've got a positive gradient, and therefore we knew that the term in front of the x squared had to be positive. Okay, with all that being said, how about the long way of doing this? The long way of doing this is a bit laborious, but let's go through it. What you would do is you would come to your spreadsheet here and just type in all your variables. I discourage you from just using one letter as your title name. So I've just called it EV and YV here. That just avoids confusion. Then I'm going to come here and I'm going to say, all right, what I'm going to do is SQ for square the XV variable. And then I'll come here and I'll go equals, and then I'll go var and I want XV and I want to square it. Then I'll go enter, and there it is right there. And then I can go menu, statistics, stat calculations, linear regression A plus BX. I want this to be my SQ, my squared x, and my y stays the same, so it's just a y variable. I go okay, then I come down and I say, all right, which of these most fits what I have here? Now, if this will scroll for me, hopefully it will. Oh, is it? Oh, no, sorry about that. We went a bit crazy, but we're back. Now, this is negative 1.34, negative 1.34, because once you round up, and this is 0.55, 0.456, 0.456 once you do the correct rounding. So my answer would be B. But how much longer did it take me doing it this way? I mean, I also, already typed in the data for us. It would have taken us far longer if we had to type in the data and do it all. So that's why it's really important that you can just get a sense of what's going on there. And I think that's the reason why they gave us the scatter plot, so we could see the direction that it was going in. Now, let's also look at our breakdown. So this is what VCAA provides us. And we were dealing with question 12 there. So as you can see, the answer was B, and 57% of people got it correct. Some common incorrect answers were A and D. Now, why were people getting confused with A and D? Well, if we look over here, what does A look like? Well, as you can see, B is my answer. The only difference between A and B is that little squared there. So people forgot to square the X. And then the other one that people thought it was D, I think it was, wasn't it? D. 14% of people thought it was D. Now, why on earth did they think it was D? I couldn't tell you. I'm not sure what they did there, but they did something wrong. I can understand why people may have thought it was A. It's less obvious as to why they would have thought it was D. I'm sure there was some thinking behind what they were doing, but it was wrong thinking, so it doesn't matter. The answer is B. Hopefully you found this helpful. I will see you later.